What's going on, y'all? This is K, ear to the streets. Regular. Thanks for coming through, pulling up. This video is gonna be a little different. This one right here is pretty much for my young fathers. I'm about to start doing a series in parenting, but not just parenting, mainly for fathers, new fathers and young fathers. And some of the things I'm gonna talk about maybe it can be perceived as counteractive, but I'm gonna make content for everybody. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about young fathers who have babies on the way, and young fathers who may have like a child that's already here, but maybe going through a divorce, or maybe going through separation or a breakup with the mom. And this content is so important because I don't see anybody, like, I hear a lot of people complain about child support, and I'm 100% behind, like, that whole fight against child support. But I'm trying to give you some lessons outside of just telling you not to have kids, because first and foremost, in the climate that we are in as men, especially black men, I'm not really advising nobody that's not already married to have any kids. With that being said, people gonna live their life and make their own decisions. So, this is just an intro into this video though, about my whole parenting series I'm about to do, or fathering, And this first video I'm about to lay down is about this first video I'm about to lay down is about the things you need to have in place if you're going to decide to have a kid, or start having unprotected sex with your woman, and start planning to have a kid. Some things are obvious, but some things aren't. And first and foremost, before you even take the idea of having a kid serious, you need to be stable. What is stable? Stable is having everything that's in your control. So if you're struggling to pay certain bills, having a kid right now is going to be at a disadvantage to everybody involved with the situation. So what I mean is, if you just know you just getting by, even if you have some type of money, if you haven't been saving, or I wouldn't even say living above your means. Let me break it down like this. As a man, a single man, when you get paid, a single man with no kids, when you get paid, your check is your check. And what I mean is, if you making money and doing things right, your bills are covered either in advance, or at least, you know what I'm saying, to the very least, you covering that with the first check of the month, or the last check of the month, however you do it. But one check, you know what I mean? Especially, I'm talking about people who get paid 4 times a week. One check is covering your bills, and you still got something left over. If you living like that, you the dudes I want to talk to, because you in a tricky space. And it don't seem like that because you probably, caught up on your, like I said, you current with your bills, and, paying, you on time with everything, so you good. But the thing about it is, once that kid comes into play, your child comes into play, there's gonna be things that you just gonna have to have money on deck for. And it's things you're gonna have to provide for that child where you might not be able to pay if you living in a 2-bedroom and you got your own little office. You might have to downsize to a 1-bedroom. You know what I'm saying? You may not be able to drive the luxury car. You know what I'm saying? And these are all things that when it comes to your lifestyle, a lot of men don't take into account when they have a kid. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much is my portion on just like the whole being prepared financially. You know what I'm saying? You need to be current on your bills and have, I would say, from a dude that I did not have my situation lined up like that in no way, shape, or form. Was I definitely in a position to support my kids? I won't even hold you. When my first son was born, I wasn't probably in position to consistently provide for him and do what I was supposed to do for him 100% until he was about 1.5. Now, with that being said, though, when my son was born, he came home to my apartment, you know what I'm saying, with my name was on the lease, you know what I'm saying? He came home, I had my own car, you know what I'm saying? I was finishing up on a certificate for help desk in an IT school. You know, I had left college. I had credits in college at the time too, but when I knew my son's mom was pregnant, I needed to have something in place where I could immediately make a decent salary and then go back to college. Still ain't do that, but I got my certificate and all that. So what I'm trying to say is, it ain't like I was no deadbeat or no bum, but at the same time, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't correct. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the right spot. So that just gives you a breakdown. And then having a kid when you're in that type of space could, like I said, it will put you in a different financial space. Like I was a dude that I literally was working for New York City, you know what I'm saying, when I was I think 15, I always had good jobs. I always was able to do what I want and move around with my bread. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really was tight with money. And then when I had my first son, is when, I realized like shit, you've been living but that's because again, it's just the way the ball game changes, And I was young, you know what I'm saying? I was 19. So I was just embarking on adulthood at that time too. You know what I'm saying? So I was balancing fatherhood and adulthood. And my oldest son is a junior in college, maintains in between an A and a B plus average. So me and his mom did very well, you know what I'm saying, with him at a young age. But again, this is stuff that a lot of the young dudes don't get spoken to. It doesn't get broken down to them. Now I want to start moving into a darker. Well, let me add some more things that you need to have prepared. You need to be mentally prepared to be attached to this woman and this baby. That's why I don't promote babies out of wedlock, because when you don't marry the woman that you get pregnant or is having your child, if you not gonna marry her, and this shit, I'ma sound so old, like an old nigga when I say this, but this shit is just real. Like if you not gonna put the ring on her finger, don't have no kid by her. And the way the world is going right now, you got women out here telling women that it's better to be a baby mom's than a wife. So I know I sound like some old nigga, but women could talk that shit. That's why this lesson and this class right here is for fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't follow them these waves. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you why. Women can say dumb shit like that because they have the protection. If this pregnant mother or mother with kids falls behind in her rent, walking around talking this hot shit that these chicks be talking, guess what? Uncle Sam and the government has already allotted shelter, food stamps, you know, healthcare, all kind of things for her and that baby. So they could talk that dumb shit because, our government gets paid off of the dumb shit. So they're gonna allow it. But you a man. So, and the problem is a lot of men, the reason why this class right here is so important is because, and this I ain't going, my videos I be going in, you know what I'm saying, on a lot of things with these women, but I've been coming out lately telling men, for whatever reason, because this shit ain't about pointing the blame. I'm more here about solutions, and men, our presence, for whatever reason, has not been felt. Our influence, rather, has not been involved in a lot of things that go on within the so-called black community, and that's major. That's a major problem. You know what I'm saying? And this is why this class is detrimental. You know what I'm saying? So I would like anybody to watch this video to share it, and especially if you know a young father, you know, like put them on. You know what I'm saying? And any questions you have, because I'm a master at this shit. I've been a father for 20 years now. You know, I'm proud as a young father of the son that I produce. I'm a single father now with an 11-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be here to help. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that any questions about this that I can't answer, I can at least definitely point you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? To where to go to get the info or help you out with it. So back to it, man. So, you want to be mentally prepared to be able to deal with this woman in a way that you've never had to deal with a woman in your life, man. And I'm not telling you gotta be a sucker, but it's too many like things out here that encourage the separation, encourage a man to walk away. And a part of that, going right back to what I was saying, is the whole like not being married to your baby's moms, man. Like that right there is a recipe for disaster, because the minute, and not to say that marriage is gonna save y'all relationship, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that most people don't really take relationships that serious until, that ring is on the finger. And even nowadays, a lot of people don't even take that serious. But somewhat to this day, somewhat marriage is still, a different level. You know what I'm saying? A different bond, especially if the two people going into it are like serious about this this um journey that they about to go on with the other person, or even if it's kids involved. So it's very important, you know what I'm saying? It's very important for um for a man to be mentally in a space where you kind of like locked in. You know what I'm saying? You telling yourself no matter what, you locked in. You know. Um, Now some of the things that I'm gonna go in depth. This is just like again an introduction into the class. I'm gonna go into depth into some of these things. Hopefully, I get some questions that I can answer for people. But one of the most major things that most men are not prepared for is to take on the challenges that come from their women's baggage. You know, because I find that in today in our world, man, like especially if you a real man, and this ain't no shot at anybody, you know, because every male thinks he's a man, but not every male is a man. You know what I'm saying? So if he's a real man or striving to make himself the best man, salute to you. But you know, there's certain things that when it comes to manhood that we just don't tolerate, we don't entertain, and we just don't do. But with with a lot of this is how most fathers, especially young fathers, get caught up. This is a common thing you will hear that goes on with women. She turns into a whole different woman than she was when y'all were just dating or before the kid, you know, was here. And that's something as a man you have to really mentally be prepared for. Because once she has the kid,